So, welcome back to Third Rate Content. Today we're in the heart of Shrewsbury once again, and we are just outside Shrewsbury Library, the current day Shrewsbury Library. Lots of history to it, which we endeavour to have a little look into today while we explore the interior. And of course it was the site of the former Shrewsbury Boys School, going right back to the mid part of the 14 or 1500s, I think. But anyway, we're going to look into it and find out all about it. So buckle up and I'll see you out here. Yeah, just before we go in, it would be remiss of me not to just show you this interesting mechanical feature. Yeah, this cast iron turntable. I think it's locked at the moment. Yeah, cars drive down here, obviously limited space, and then one wheel off and one wheel on, drive it round so they can turn around and make their way back onto the one-way system of Shrewsbury. And the two figures left and right here, one is called Philomathis and the one on the right is Polomathis. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. One is a figure coming to learn, and the other is the learned scholar leaving after a successful education. But we're heading in to what the site of Shrewsbury School. So the older buildings are linked up by the 1984, I think it was, when it opened, the bit in the middle, as you can see right here. Yeah, this building is a grade 1 listed, so this is, you know, as protected as you get, and it'll be with us for years and years. I mean, as long as we have civilization and the buildings, you know, a disaster doesn't befall it, this building will remain here unmolested. Yeah, Shrewsbury School did vacate this site in 1882, and it was opened as a library in 1885. Yeah, so we're looking at probably the oldest part of the structure of Shrewsbury School. I believe it's Riggs's Hall. Just looking at the exterior of Riggs's Hall. Quite an impressive building, really. And the detail on the gables, quite fantastic. This was the original building. See the exposed timber frames. But of course the school was founded by Royal Charter 1552, King Edward VI. This was after two ecclesiastical colleges in the town were closed. So the building was added to in stone between the years of 1594 and 1630, which is quite a lot. Of, obviously we're looking at the Riggs's Hall wood timber frame building, which is probably only about 30% of the actual overall mass of the building. Most of it is in stone. Yeah, the first recorded pupil of Shrewsbury School was from Buckinghamshire. So I mean, that is one long journey to school, really. Obviously we would have been boarding here, but I mean, going home in the holidays, with no rail and road networks being not what they are now, would have been quite a mammoth task. Yeah, I remember these window alcoves having cushions on them and actually encouraging you to sit on them. But not anymore in our safety-conscious world. Yeah, the number of pupils attending Shrewsbury School rose considerably under the notable head Thomas Ashton, who served in his post from 1561 to 1583. The ordinances laid down by Ashton that allowed his successor, John Megan, to enlarge the
Something
school.
you won't find out if you look up the Wikipedia for this building is that Sir Philip Sidney was educated here. He was an all-round Renaissance man and favourite of Queen Elizabeth I. Yeah, coming up next is a kind of stream of consciousness of voices of the past etched into wood. So think of it as like a mini podcast with me voicing it over, because obviously in that part of the library it was silence. You know, I didn't want to be walking around with my voice talking over people studying, or there was an old lady noisily listening to videos on her phone while I was in there. But I didn't want to add to that, and hopefully she was watching third-rate content. But anyway, if you want to pause the video, or if you're watching on a big screen, you know, via a Chromecast style device, good idea. And then you can sort of study the names etched into the wood, and you might come up with some names I missed as I was filming in there. But anyway, onwards with the video. Yeah, so what we're seeing here is something I had never seen before, because having used the library quite a lot, I didn't realise at the time, but it does make me sound a bit nerdish, but I don't mind. But I used to use this library a lot, sort of between the ages of 10 and, like I said, 19, 20, independently. It wasn't teachers making me come here. I used to just come and spend a few hours on a Saturday afternoon here sometimes, and I quite enjoyed it, because obviously there was no internet when I was sort of 14. And I used to actually come here and read about subjects I was interested in, you know, mysterious subjects quite a lot, or music. I must have hide out every Michael Moorcock book Shrewsbury Library had. But what I do wonder is, having received part of my education here, my third-rate education, I wonder, does that give me the right to carve my name into these wood in the wood desks and the walls here at Shrewsbury School, or today Shrewsbury Library? Are the names of the pupils who attended here in obviously the heyday of Shrewsbury School being here. I am joking. I really would not commit a horrendous act of vandalism like that. But what I'm saying is, what gave the lads, and there would all be lads here who've carved their names in, what gave them the right to carve their names into this wood at that time? And I'm sure the first boy who did it, and if it's one of his school teachers, the masters, had caught him, he would have been maybe flogged, and he would have been accused of vandalism, I'm sure, and it would not have been looked positively on. But obviously over the years it's became a tradition somehow. I mean, look at 1780, 89. But anyway, it became a tradition, and now this is part of history, and I'm very glad it's here. It's first time I've seen it. Like, I've came to the library all those times and I never knew it was here. I think this was the reference library, and I didn't actually come in here for anything. It was sort of seemed a bit, wasn't welcoming. But anyway, so seeing this for the first time, I'm thinking it's also very much like the children's wall we had on the Bellevue video a month or so ago. But instead of children in a working little back street of Shrewsbury, this was written and carved by the Boris Johnsons, or the other leaders of future leaders of industry and politics of their day. Yeah. So does the fact that their parents paid huge sums to send them here give them the right to have carved their names in there? You decide. But anyway, once graffiti goes past a certain age, it becomes, like I said, desirable and historically interesting. But when does that happen? Yeah, the school's fortunes kind of flagged around the English Civil War and all the way till 1798, until the fortunes revived under the head, Dr. Samuel Butler. But Charles Darwin did not like learning under Butler. It was too classical. But Butler did have a plan how to restore the school, and it was successful. Shrewsbury School became back at the top of the learning elite of the day. Croquet lawns, village greens, Victoria was my queen, Victoria. Yeah, I've been very impressed by some of the calligraphy and the style of carving. June 1815, that was a year of fate. But some of it has been about the standard of what my great engraving would have been like. So, yeah, varied. And just on our way out now, just this, I think, Doric pillar. But if I'm wrong, please correct us in the comments. Doric style pillar. And the very old hinges for the gate. So thank you for watching to the end of today's third-rate content. Been a very interesting trip around Shrewsbury Library, formerly Shrewsbury Boys School. But like I say, it's been a whole new way of looking at it for me, and I've been in there quite a few times as a young man, like I said. But it's opened, my eyes have been opened up to its wonders. So anyway, if I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon. Third-rate content, signing out.